G'day guys, welcome back to a video of wok comparison, I guess, review, electric and stovetop. You may have seen the unboxing video of this one. I've used it a few times since then. It's not too bad. There's some pros and cons between both of them, to be honest with you, or maybe it's just me not knowing how to use them. They're both 36 centimetres diameter, 360mm. Well, I got this one, a stovetop one. It's about the only one I could find that had a lid. Well, that's probably one of the first things we should talk about, is at least the lid on this one it's a good proper fit. See, it fits in there snugly, where this thing is pretty much, it's like it's for a small Weber barbecue, to be honest with you. I don't know what it's made out of, some steel, where this here is I don't know, steel. It's sort of got little ridges in it, you know. It's a different type of steel anyway. I'm no expert, and but anyway, we shall get to that. I've got a bit of a list here, and I wrote some things down, and probably the first thing I noticed with it when I did a test in this one was very easy to burn garlic. Now, I just use the stuff out of a jar. Maybe that's got something to do with it. You know, for general cooking, I find it's just as, you can get the same effect as fresh garlic. You just got to use a lot more of it, you know. And plus, even though I love garlic, I just don't like the smell when you use the fresh stuff. It stays with you for days on your hands, you know. So maybe I should try some fresh stuff. Don't know. But if you search the internet, it basically says if garlic gets too hot, it burns, and that's what happens in this. Never happened in the electric one. Never. Don't know why. But anyway, all I can say is that the old electric one here, which has seen better days, but it's different material. I'm not sure what it is, whether it's some sort of cast aluminium, something like that, where this one is steel and it's very thin. You know, so maybe that could be the reason why the garlic burns easily. Never had the issue in the electric one, but the electric cycles, you know, as you know, it gets up to temperature, cuts out, cools off, and then it cuts back in again, where the gas is constant. I mean, it should work on just by the way, it should work on a electric one too, because it's it's got a flat bottom, even though it's sitting on the stand, which I don't think much of it, to be honest with you, the stand thing, as we're talking about that. It just seems to slide all over the stove, you know, the grill. I've got a gas stove, and if you sit it in that, I like to use two utensils, you know, and sort of toss it like that. And if you do that, it moves all around the place. But if you sit it just straight on the burner like that, without the ring, it seems to be fine. You can do that. Otherwise, you've got to hang on to one hand onto the wok, and then just use one hand to toss it, you know, which is, I mean, if you're an expert, you probably wouldn't even need to use anything to toss it, would you? But anyway, now let's have a look at we'll start on the gas top one. I mean, I'm a bit disappointed in it with the lid, as I mentioned. I mean, the steaming rack that sits in there, you know, it's basically useless, because when you put this on, you know, it's not a good fit. Look at that, you know, look at that. See how it moves over? Practically useless. So I won't be steaming in it. But anyway, now I'm not sure if you can see it, but look at all the scratches in there. Can you see those? It's supposed to be non-stick. I've used nothing but wood and plastic in that, and it's only been used a few times. Look at all the scratches. So little bit disappointed. It's quite flimsy too. Like I say, I'm not a wok expert. That might be okay, but anyway, it is what it is. Even a bit of rust there, maybe. Unbelievable. It was scratched when I bought it. It had scratch in it from brand new, so not really that happy about that. But let's have a look at the old electric one. Now, look, that's actually in worse condition than what the one before this was, which I threw out, and my mother got this one for me actually. But it's actually not that old. It wouldn't be any more than 2 years old, you know. And this stuff came off quite quickly. So look, it still works to do a few things, but you know, just stuff like fried rice, it just sticks like you wouldn't believe. You end up with, you know, a really thick coating of stuff. So anyway, but fried rice works pretty good in the stove top. Not that I'm an expert. That might be the next video. I might actually try and do a cooking video. We'll see how that goes. My version of fried rice, you know. Okay, so things seem to cook quicker in the gas one too. Like I did a risotto in it last night, which I've done 100 times in this electric one. Anyway, if you come back, I'd come back in 15-20 minutes with this one, not a problem, you know. But this one I came back and it was only on very low heat because I did something the other night and I found you really only need very low heat. And I came back, I had the lid on it, you know, to keep the steam and the water and stuff in, but it was nearly dry and burning, and the gas was only on very slightly, you know. So, where again, this one, the electric one, it cycles, you know, so I don't know whether that slows the process down, you know. It probably does, I suppose, because it gets hot, then cold, hot, cold, where the one on the gas is just constant, you know. And basically I had to add some more stock to it last night and cook it for another 10 minutes because the rice and the pumpkin was not cooked properly, you know. So I'm not sure why it would dry out quicker in this than in this one, you know, considering they both got lids. And even though it's not a great fit, but it's still, you know, should still do something. I don't know. Where this one is a much better fit, no question about it. But anyway, that's something I'll have to keep an eye on, you know. Maybe I'll just keep using this one. It doesn't look pretty, you know. I don't think the stuff peeling off it's going to kill you. I did Google that actually, and I think it just says it'll pass through you and won't, you know, be of no effect to you. You know, it's not going to cause you cancer or anything like that. But yeah, that's about it, I think. You know, there's not really much to it. Those things that I've just mentioned are probably the main things. It does seem to be, I'm not happy about the garlic burning. I'm going to try some fresh garlic, you know, because that stuff you buy in a jar has got sugar in it. I don't know why they put sugar in it, but maybe that contributes to the burning. But like I say, it never happened in the electric one. So basically, if I want to add any garlic, you either got to do it on, or even on very low heat, it still seems to burn, you know, very easily, you know, very easily. So it might just be that the steel is so thin, you know, even on low heat, it's still getting really hot. You know, maybe that's got something to do with it. Hopefully somebody, you know, there's probably wok experts out there that would know all about it, but it's got to be just the steel being thin and just getting so hot. But like I say, they both got their pros and cons. I'll keep using, I might use the electric one for doing, I do another dish which is like been in the family for years. It's like an Asian flavoured thing, and you put cabbage in it and some water then you leave it for 15 minutes for the steam to cook the cabbage. Anyway, long story short, I did it in this one, and once again, like the risotto, the water was dried out in no time. So I just don't know where the water goes. Where this one, it's still there. Anyway, hopefully you've learned something a little bit about the difference between electric and stovetop. I think I mentioned it should work all right on electric stove as well, because it's flat bottomed. And now that I've been watching other people use woks on telly and stuff, most of them seem to be flat bottomed, where this one's not. It's just totally round. Anyway, well, hopefully I'll get a cooking video out next week. I'll give it a bit of a go and see how we go. I mean, even the fried rice is, I'm no cooking expert. Even the fried rice it's not too bad, but I end up putting too much soy sauce in or too much oil, trying to help it fry. But the rice doesn't sort of fry like if you're frying chicken or onion. You don't get a sizzle, and I think the more oil and stuff you put in it, it just makes it soggy. So I'll have to watch that. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Good on you. Cheers. What do you reckon, boy? Time to cook something up? See ya. Cheers.